One thing you're going to realize about the story about Nahum when he's talking, one thing he's saying is he shows that God is in control of everything. The mountains. Why does lava spew at the mountain? The Lord. Who controls the depths of the seas? The Lord. You understand? Who controls the wind? The Lord. It's his creation. He controls everything. He make that tree grow. He controls everything. People like natural disasters. There's nothing natural about it. You understand? God is in control of all these things. God is in control of all these things. I remember back, I'm going to give you a story, and I'm going to tell you a true story here. And I'm going to tell you how I related to Sodom. You know, all my life, I stayed in Mobile, Alabama. I stayed in Mobile, you know what I'm saying? We done hit storms too. We done had storms here. But in Mobile, I always hear about New Orleans. I always hear about New Orleans since I was young. Hey man, you need to go over there. Why? What's wrong? You know, what's over there? What's in New Orleans? You know they do witchcraft and voodoo and stuff over there. Wow, that's crazy. You understand? That's crazy. Witchcraft and voodoo? Oh man. You know, it's kind of weird that I never really went to New Orleans to party or anything. I'm being real with you now. I'm not lying to you. New Orleans is probably, 3 hours away from me? Never been there to party. Never. But let me go back. Let me give you a backstory. I was headed there. I'm going to tell you how good God is. I was headed to New Orleans. When I was in the military, I'm going to tell you how good God is. When I was in the military, I'm reaching my 4-year mark. I'm about close to getting out. And I wanted to sign up. I wanted to go somewhere and have fun. I wanted to go somewhere that was different from 29 Palms, California, which is a desert. And it was horrible there. It was horrible. Desert. Sandstorms. Heat. Hardly no rain. Horrible. Hot in the daytime. Cold at night. Desert. So I'm going to tell you how all things work together for the good of those that love God. By no means am I condoning sin. I'm telling you a story. How all things work together for those that love God. So I'm headed to New Orleans. I'm signing the paperwork. I'm getting ready. I'm talking to the career planner. Because in the military, they got a career planner there. They got somebody who plans your destination, your next destination if you decide to re-enlist. Where you would like to go? Well, I would like to go here. I would like to go there. I would like to, okay. So I was like, what you got out there, man? You know, I wasn't the best Marine. I was a lifetime last corporal, so to say, and I don't got no problem saying it. You know what I'm saying? The military was not really my cup of tea. You understand? Was not really my cup of tea. I'm proud I served. And once a Marine, always a Marine. Hoorah to my devil dogs out there. You understand? I even hate to say that. Hoorah to my brother's home. It's just a little. You know why they call military people devil dogs? I mean, Marines called devil dogs. Because when they came and they attacked, people thought they were just ruthless. Like they looked at us like we was just some other people. You understand? That's where we get the term devil dogs. It ain't got nothing to do with the devil. But anyway, you understand? That's how they looked at us. That's how much fear the Marine Corps put in hearts. You understand? Let's put it this way. You might want to let the Lord put that kind of fear in your heart too. You understand? But anyway, back to the story at hand. This might take a second. But anyway, I'm getting ready to re-up. You know, I'm about to get promoted. I've been a E3 for 3 years. And I'm about to get turned to an E4. I'm moving up the chain, finally, in the Marine Corps. And I finally, I want to re-enlist. I want to re-up. You understand? I'm finna re-up. And I got everything lined up there. So we come back from the field. I'll never forget, because it was May 16th. It was the weekend of my birthday. And it was not even a weekend. It was like we came back from the field. My birthday, May 17th. One thing about my life, things seem to happen on May 17th for some reason. I don't know. That's crazy. But I'm cool with it. Either things gonna go good or things gonna go bad. That's why I look at life, period. Either things gonna go this way or that way. Just because it's my birthday don't mean nothing ain't gonna happen. You understand? That's cool too. I learned that when my dad passed away on May 17th, 2007, that all things ain't gonna go how you want them to go. But they're gonna go exactly how God wants them to go. Because all things work together for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. And it's before I even know I was called according to his purpose. But it's always been working on my behalf. But anyway, let me get back to the story. I ain't trying to draw this out, but I'm not trying to rush it either. You understand? So like I said, I'm prepping. I'm about to be promoted. And you know, one thing the military always tells you not to do is drink and drive. We have meetings before we go on liberty, go out and party and enjoy ourselves, work hard, play hard. They tell us straight up, don't drink and drive. They push this issue. And does that mean every Marine known to man never drunk and drive? I would be a liar if I told you that wasn't true. You understand? I'd be a liar because I know majority of Marines have drunk and drive. Well, it is what it is. I'm not finna lie to you. You understand? One thing we realized when we was working hard, we was like, man, I'm finna have a good time. You understand? When I was a young and foolish man. But anyway, it's all good. It worked out. But anyway, I'm at the bar. I'm chilling. You understand? I'm gonna tell you something. I had a chance to not go out that day. It was like May 14th. Let's say more May 15th. Whatever. We had just came back from the field, so it was like a weekday. It wasn't even a weekend. You understand? It was like we came back in the middle of the week, or Monday or something like that. And so I went out. I just wanted to go out. And I was talking to my roommate. I was like, man, you mind if I drive your car to the club today? He like, Houston, you know my tag ain't got no lights by it. I'm like, man, I ain't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? What, they gonna stop me or pull me over for my lights? First warning. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take heed to it. But you gotta remember the line of the whole point of me telling you this story. All things work together for the good of those that love God, who are called by his purpose. So anyway, I'm in this mug. I'm at the house. I'll be and my friends. I got the little Caprice, the Chevy Caprice. You understand? I'm riding the town. First time I really just took it like I wanted to go out so bad. I just wanted to go out that night. No matter what, I wanted to go. You understand? And I went. And me and my friends were in there. We partied. You know, let's put it, everybody who drink know how it worked back in that day. How it worked when you drink. Who drives? The person who the less sober. Who the most sober one. The sober one. And you got to understand what I'm saying here now. The one who's sustainable, the ones who's not drunk, staggering around, passed out. That's the one that drove. So I'm not saying I didn't drink. I drunk this night, but I was sober. Did you hear what I said? I drunk this night, but I was sober-minded. You know, I sipped with the rest of my brothers. You know what I'm saying? We just came from the field. You know, it's getting close to me to get out. I got like 2 months left, but I wasn't thinking about none of that. I was thinking about re-enlisting at the time. But anyway, so they was like, man, I was in the club that day. I saw things was going a little off. I was like, man, it's time for us to go, man. So I gathered everybody up. We got in the car. You know, I'm driving back through the gate. They looked at me. I looked at them. You know what I'm saying? They waved me through. You know, they waved me through. I'm like, wow, I made it through the gate. I know I've been drinking. You know, we just had a speech about don't drink and drive. And if anybody gets in trouble drinking and driving, all hell gonna break loose. So guess what? So I make it through the gate. I'm driving through the gate. You understand? Next thing you know, I look behind me. MPs. I'm like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I got pulled over. So guess what I get pulled over for? Not because I was swerving. Not because I was drunk. Why did I get pulled over? I'm going to tell you why. Because the lights. The lights. I didn't have a light by the tag. And my homeboy, Smith Jeffries, told me about it. I'm like, Lord have mercy. So I get out. You know you're going to smell alcohol if you ain't been drinking. So they give me the test. Hey, walk this line. Jump on one foot. Hit a backward flip. Spin around. Do this. Do that. Pass with flying colors. Sober-minded people. Sober-minded. They were like, wow. Well, we're going to wait for the breathalyzer to come. Am I saying I've never been drunk before? But this day I was not drunk. Yes, I was drinking. Do you understand, people? I was drinking, but I was not drunk this day. Just being real with you. You understand? Drinking a little alcohol don't necessarily make you drunk. Now, some people who was in the car with me was stone drunk. They were passed out. You understand? They didn't even realize it. You understand? But they let them go. But anyway, we wait for the breathalyzer to come back. I'm like, I'm done. According to the breathalyzer, yes, I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail with flying colors once this breathalyzer come. And guess what? I failed the test. They took me down to the MP's office. My duty NCO had to come get me. He was like, Houston, you know what? You ain't the first person today. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Not only did I get pulled over and get a DUI, but guess what? Other people did too. And guess what? My battalion commander just gave a speech on this. And I'm like, oh Lord, I'm finna be made an example of. So, the days pass. It's like Monday the 16th. I'm nervous, man. I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? How this gonna play out? What happens? So I go up as for the battalion commander. I got my gunny and my staff sergeant. One of my gunnies said, hey, he's a pretty good Marine. He's not the best Marine. He told the truth. One of them was like, hey man, just hammer him. You know, take his pay, do this. Well, I got the 30 days restriction. Docked my pay, took my rank. I finished the rest of my Marine Corps career on restriction. And guess what else happened out the window? Houston, we're not gonna let you re-enlist. I'm like, a DUI? Wow, this is harsh. I know people who done popped on crack. You know what I'm saying? I know people that smoked weed and did all sorts of evil, and they kept them in. I made one mistake. I'm like, wow, this is unheard of. Well, we don't want you to re-enlist neither. But we're gonna give you an honor of discharge, but you can't sign back up. I'm like, well, glory be to God. I'm bitter now. I'm bitter. You understand? I'm mad. I'm like, right when I get ready to sign back up and go over to New Orleans, guess what happens? All of it got torn away from me. All things work together for those who believe and love God. I got out in 2004. The following year, you understand? I would have been stationed in New Orleans. The following year, Hurricane Katrina hit, and it tore that place apart. I had my lot moment. I thought to myself, I'm like, man, I was supposed to have been there. I was going to be there. Don't tell me what would have happened if I was there. But God protected me, and God pulled me away from that place. You understand? Am I saying everybody in New Orleans is evil? But I know what goes on there. I done heard the stories plenty of times. Lord, in Mardi Gras, half-naked whipping and walking around flashing people. You ever watch that show, Girls Gone Wild? All this stuff goes on in New Orleans. Lawlessness. But you know, people don't take consideration what God's power consists of. God cleansed that land. God cleansed it. I don't care what nobody says. From a spiritual perspective, after years of going by, and I realized, hey, God's wrath can come in so many ways. It can come in the ocean, form of a volcano. You understand? In the form of an earthquake. God's wrath can come in so many ways to try to get people to get right with God. You understand? That's all it's about, trying to get people right with God. But I just want to tell that little testimony. That's a testimony I figured out later on in life that I didn't realize at the time. But I thought about it at the time. I was like, man, I was supposed to have been in New Orleans. And I saw all the stuff think about what happened after that Katrina hit. People were getting raped in the dome. A lot of people breaking in, it's flooded, and they taking TVs and stuff. People dead bodies in the Civic Center, all kind of crazy. Not only did God allow a storm to come and tear New Orleans apart, but it also revealed the wickedness. Police officers stealing. It revealed wickedness in the land. You understand? It revealed things that people were unheard of. Women getting raped. Wow, the storm ain't been there but a day. People went raped crazy in that mud. You know, but it's crazy though. You know what's crazier? God dispersed a lot of people from New Orleans. He dispersed a lot of people, right? Put them in Alabama, Texas, some everywhere. Gave them a brand new start, a fresh start. But some people, they had to go back. This is my home. This is where I'm from. You know why a lot of people didn't leave New Orleans? Well, I done weathered a lot of storms here. Do you hear what I'm going through? What I'm finna say to you? I've been through a lot of storms here. God has looked out for me this long. So God's on the news, talking to somebody. Hey, this storm is gonna be a bad one. And you know what's the crazy thing? I stay in Mobile. The storm was headed for Mobile. And it changed right at the last minute. It tore New Orleans apart. God is good. But for the people on the other end, it wasn't so good for them. What am I getting at with the story? It wasn't so good for them. I'm going to make it through this storm. I made it through a lot of them. Sometimes you got to take heed. Lot's wife. Hey, don't look back. I'm going to look back. And what happened? She turned to a pillar of salt. You understand? Warning comes before the wrath. A lot of people took heed and left. You understand? They told New Orleans, the people in New Orleans, to fix the levees years ago. They didn't take heed. They didn't take heed years ago to fix the levee. They knew the levees were broke. They knew they wasn't sustainable. So not only did it expose wickedness, it exposed corruption in the political time. You understand? The mayor get on there and talking all kind of trash. Next thing you know, he in the news for embezzling and doing wickedness with the funds. He's no longer mayor or governor or whatever he was. You understand? You see how God's wrath exposed wickedness to tell people to get right. But I'm sure it's many people who was like, I'm going to stay here. I trust God. You understand? I trust in this. Sometimes trusting in God is listening. Hey, get out of here. This is all my stuff. I grew up here. This is my house. God shows you in little glimpses how he can take a house and flood it. And make it so that the material gain that you got is nothing, it's no more. He can take it away. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. How do you protect yourself from God's wrath? You listen, first of all. You pay attention. You understand? Like the story of me in the military and getting a whole new chance at life by a few misfortunes in my life that led me away from New Orleans. And I think back in my life, but one time I was in the storm, but it's a whole nother story. I'm going to tell you how I trust the wrath of God. And when I see natural disasters and things, I got to tell it, forget it. Let me pause and I will continue.